This episode is brought to you by San Pellegrino. A meal isn't just about what's on your plate. It's about what you bring to the table. San Pellegrino believes the table is where the best of life happens. That's what makes gathering around it so rich and rewarding. And with their unique sparkling natural mineral water, San Pellegrino brings its best so you can bring yours.
Now, it's Positively Ernie Extra, New York's TV legend and 77 WABC radio talk host with positive news and interviews to inform and inspire you. Now, here's Ernie Anastas.
Yeah, okay. How are you, everybody? So good to be here. I love being in the studio. You know, I get very excited when I start thinking about, doing this because it's something that's really in my blood. I mean, I've been doing this since... professionally, if you want to call it that, since I was 16 years old when I started my first radio program back in a small town in New Hampshire, and I loved it and really haven't been off the air since. And I particularly enjoy young people because that first show was all about teenagers. I would interview young people on a Saturday morning talk show, and we would talk about things that were going on in high school, whether it was sports or activities, and I would play their favorite songs, and it was so great. But I've always been interested in what young people do. And in fact, the first book I wrote was about teenagers, and it's called Twixt, Teens Yesterday and Today, and it's about the history of teenagers in America. And I loved doing that book, talking to people from various generations and asking them, what was it like, being a teenager? What was it like being a kid? And I loved the answers. What I really enjoyed was the enthusiasm, the excitement. The eyes light up when you start talking to people about what it was like being a teenager. And I think historically we know that teenagers have really affected social and political change. They've impacted fashion, trends, and each generation brings us something different, something new. And there's a song that I want to play a little bit for you. It's Cat Stevens. Maybe you're familiar with this. It's called Oh Very Young. Listen to this. I love this song. Love it. Okay, Kat, go for it.
Oh, very young, what will you leave us this time? You're only dancing on this earth for a short while.
Oh, yeah.
And though your dreams may toss and turn you now, they will vanish away like your dad's best jeans.
Oh, this is a terrific song. Cat Stevens, I interviewed him several years back. His real name is Steve Georgiou. He was born in London. His father was a Cypriot, and his mother was Swedish. And Cat Stevens and I talked a lot about youth. I did a one-hour program with him about his music. What an amazing character he is. But we both shared all of this eager and enthusiasm attitude that we had about being young. It is a number. There's no question about it. Everybody thinks about it as just a number, and it really is. It's how you think and how you feel. And several years back, I was in London, and I went into a bookstore. And I picked up a book called Transitions, Making Sense of Life's Changes. And I really fell in love with this book. It was very good, I have to tell you. As I was reading this, I was on vacation. And as I was reading this book, it told me something very interesting, that when you're young, there's an opportunity to do things that are good for that age. For example, a lot of athletes, they're young, they're able, they're strong, and they excel. They do some of their best work when they're young. And there are other professions, other careers as well. But as the book continued, it talked about how most people grow over time, at least we should, grow over time and gain experience and gain knowledge. And there are people who do their best work later in life because they're prepared for it. You can cite a lot of people, for example, like Julia Childs, Harrison Ford, Colonel Sanders, Coco Chanel, Ray Kroc, Walt Disney, so many people that it took time to be able to develop that sense of understanding of who they were and what experience they had gained to become everything that they could be. So there's a lot to be said about youth and a youthful attitude and a youthful spirit. There's a guy that I really adore. He's terrific. His name is Dr. Jeff Gardier, and he is America's psychologist, and he's joining me on the phone right now. Hey, Jeff, good to have you here.
Great to be with you, Ernie.
You know, I'm talking about one of my favorite subjects, and that's young people and youth and the spirit of youth. You and I share that attitude because you've got a bubbly personality. You work with so many people, and you know how important it is, to age but never feel old. Isn't that true?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that I've experienced that. When I look at myself psychologically, Ernie, I still see that same 25, 30, 40-year-old spirit.
Yeah.
None of that has ever changed. I still feel like a kid. Therefore, I carry that enthusiasm and energy into my life at all stages.
Yeah. There's a Greek philosopher. There are so many of them, of course, but there's one philosopher who said, I have a wish to die young, but as late in life as possible.
Yes.
And it's having that youthful heart, that youthful spirit, that attitude of, I haven't seen everything, I haven't done everything yet, and there's still much more to go, right?
Absolutely. Another great philosopher once sang, fairy tales do come true if they happen to you, if you're young at heart.
Young at heart.
Yes, absolutely.
There are so many benefits, Jeff, to having that youthful spirit. You've seen studies on centenarians, people who live 100 and plus. And they have a lot of things in common. They're very curious. They have a curious mind. They want to learn something new every day. They're active. They've got a great sense of humor. They can laugh at life and, have significant people in their lives. All the basics of just having that youthful spirit.
That's right. And they're also very hopeful. They live in the moment. They enjoy the people that they surround themselves with, and they stay as sociable as possible. And they do not look at age as far as being a number.
Sure.
They look at age as part of just being alive.
This episode is brought to you by Tic Tac. Summer tastes like Tic Tac. Tantalize your taste buds this sunny season with citrus adventure and orange. 2 everyday flavors that bring summer in every. Tic Tac Citrus Adventure is a yummy, vibrant medley of lemon, lime, and mandarin. And Tic Tac Orange is the perfect mix of tangy and sweet. Visit us at Tic Tac USA on social to refresh your summer with Tic Tac.
Learning through play starts with Lego Duplo. With Lego Duplo, toddlers can develop real-life skills while having fun with colorful bricks made just for them. Large, easy to grip, and safe to explore. When children express themselves with Lego Duplo, they build patience, problem-solving, and empathy. See your child learn perseverance and self-expression with everything they imagine and create. Visit lego.com/preschool to learn more.
How does PwC take your company to the leading edge? They bring the sharpest minds in tech to your team, so you can bring the ideas that will transform your business. They're passionate about your industry, so you can walk into any room with every advantage. And they're with you every step of the way, so you can know you're headed in the right direction. PwC builds for what's next, so you can get there now. Get started at pwc.com/us/leading edge.
And it's how you think about, who you are at what stage in life, too. If you're always thinking about, finding out something new, growing and developing yourself and changing, because there's nothing wrong with change, and you talk about that all the time. We have to be able to allow ourselves to grow into more of who we really are.
That's right. Everything must change. Nothing stays the same, right? And if we're able to adapt with the times, not be outdated in any way, learn all of the new tricks and learn about the things that people are doing around us.
Sure.
We know everything's changed since COVID, but most importantly, lead the way also. That wisdom that comes with maturing and getting older is so valuable to society.
You know, Jeff, you do so many things. You have a practice, you have clients, but you're also a teacher, you're a professor, and you understand working with a lot of young people. I enjoy being around, my own age, of course, but young people as well, because when you're with them, there's an enthusiasm, there's a real spirit that you see, and they talk about things. They're dating, they're thinking about their careers, what's ahead of them, and it's nice to be in that environment, and it rubs off, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's really great as we get older that we have the experience and we've been around the block a couple of thousand times, and that's really positive too. But being able to see the world from fresh eyes of the young also teaches us many valuable lessons and really tells us that life continues to be a beautiful and amazing thing each and every day.
And Jeff, you know what else is nice? To be able to mentor. I've had some mentors in my life, and I'm sure you have too. But I enjoy being a mentor. There are a lot of young people that I've worked with, and just encouraging them and guiding them in some ways, listening to them so that they become who they are, not who I want them to be, but guiding them in a way that gives them that extra boost, that extra sense of confidence. And that's so important, isn't it?
It is. There are countless studies that show that mentoring a young person absolutely leads them in the right direction. But guess what? Even though we are the mentors, we can also learn from our mentees. And it keeps us updated as to all of the new things that are happening. So it really is a reciprocal relationship.
And Jeff, I know you join me, in extending that open arm to a lot of young people who are listening to us right now. I know we have a mixed audience, but saying, hey, look, you are the next generation. You have this opportunity, this golden opportunity to do something with your life and to help change the world in many ways. Now, a lot of people would say, oh, come on, that's a big task, try to change the world. But you know what we're saying. I mean, there's an opportunity to be effective in some ways. There's a great line, don't strive for success, strive for significance. Do something with your life, and the young people have that opportunity to think about where they are and where they're going.
That's right. Absolutely, Ernie. Back in the day, for those of us who are a little bit more mature, we actually left a carbon footprint and actually made changes to the world, each in our own individual way, within our own communities, and perhaps throughout the world. It's the gift that keeps on giving. And now more than ever, in a world where we see that there are so many conflicts, political, environmental, and so on, now more than ever, we would like our young people to step up and make that difference.
Yeah.
We can be hopeful, we can change the world, and we can still make it a better place.
Absolutely, and we need that. We need this young, thinking, that young spirit. Let me ask you this, because, when I'm talking to people about this subject, many times they'll say, it was different in my days. We were very young, and we were excited and enthusiastic about the world, and we had ambition, and we had work ethics, and so forth. And a lot of young people today, maybe they don't have that. Technology does everything for them. AI is out there, and they don't have the same kind of attitude that we had when we were young. Do you think it's changed that much, Jeff?
Well, I think in some ways, with all of the upheaval happening on our planet, and certainly in our politics, that it is easy to become cynical. But this is where we need people to step up and to be able to stay hopeful and to make a difference. We've been through hard times before, and we've made it through. We still remain the greatest country on the face of this earth, and we are still the greatest planet in this universe. We are the green planet. I was looking at that on my way in on the Metro North, all of the green, all of the life. And so we need this young spirit to continue to drive that regeneration and that life.
Oh, that's for sure. And Jeff, we both have young people in our families, and you as well. What do you talk about when you're talking with your child, when you're trying to guide them in some way or give them something to think about? What kind of messages do you pass along? What do you say?
I tell them the more they face adversity, the stronger it will make them, but never to become cynical, never to lose hope. Whatever it is that we encounter, then, we study it, we don't personalize it, and we try to change the situation because that is what we were put on this planet to do, to continue to evolve and to continue to do beautiful, wonderful things, and to put a hand out to other people who may not have what they have, the resources you and I, Ernie, have given them as family members to help other people. That is the greatest gift that you can ever give to someone, but also receive in knowing that you help make a difference in someone's life.
Oh, absolutely. And you also mentioned the word cynicism. And that's something we really have to be careful about, because many times it's easy to feel, like you're not going to make it. Like you don't have the confidence, you don't have the wherewithal, and people can be very cynical in their conversations. I can talk about news sometimes, how negative it can be, and then it can make you feel like, oh man, do I really want to live in this world? But we have to be careful of that, and it also depends on who we hang around with. That quote, people are like elevators; they can take you up or down. And you've got to be around people, who bring you up, who give you that idea that you can accomplish something with your life and you're good enough to do it.
That's why I listen to Positively Ernie all the time, and I make sure that Ernie is a friend of mine, but I surround myself with people like you, Ernie, who look at the adversity in the world and who do not let cynicism change who they are. We each have our own symphony, and we must continue to play the music that uplifts us, the soundtracks of our lives. I know you love music. It's part of your show.
Right.
There are messages in the music that you play, and we all need to do more of that in order to remain hopeful and to be positive, not cynical.
I love that. Hey, Jeff, I know you've got to run off and do some things, but I appreciate the fact that you joined me today because, you're always a delight to be around. You're the elevator that takes us up, my friend. We always go to the top floor with you. I appreciate that, Jeff.
You're so very kind, my dear friend, and thank you, and keep inspiring the world as you do with your positivity. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you, my good friend.
And
thank you so much.
to our great audience.
You bet. Thank you so much. Dr. Jeff Gardia, what a terrific man he is, America's psychologist. I have known him for a long time, and every time we've been together, casual or whether we're on the air talking about something, he's consistent. He's consistent. It reminds me about somebody who once talked to me about being consistent. They said it's so important that people know what they can expect from you. There was a survey done, I think it might have been McDonald's or Wendy's, but they did a survey to find out why people go to their fast food place. I think it was at McDonald's, actually. And they said, what's the reason that people come here? And it wasn't the Big Mac, or their French fries. The number one answer was, I know what I'm going to get. You see that? Actually knowing, that you can depend on something. That's very important in life. Knowing that something is going to be consistent. But there's also something else that goes with that because, I love to be my own, backroom philosopher. Be consistent, but with the element of surprise. You've got to be, constant in what you do if you're, for example, like I am performing, doing my thing. But you have to surprise people. You have to find a different way of doing something. So whatever you're doing, make sure you stay steady course, but don't be afraid to change a little bit. Don't be afraid to try something different. To surprise not only the people who are with you at work or wherever it happens to be, even in your own family, but surprise yourself. I like to do that. I really do. I like to just find ways to say, let me try something different. When I was a kid, I had my buddies around me, and we would get on a bus. I was about 14 years old, 15 years old. We'd get on a bus, and we'd go to the next town. And it was maybe the first time that we were there. We didn't know anybody. But I loved that challenge of going someplace unknown and finding out something new and experiencing something different. And I think that as we age, we're talking about age, we find that that's very important. Like one day, instead of, if you're right-handed, do everything with your left hand, okay? Take a different road to work. Try something different because it really multiplies all these cells in your brain. There's a physical reaction to trying different things. And I want to leave you with that thought today.
This episode is brought to you by Cadillac. Cadillac certified service technicians are factory trained to fit your vehicle with the tires specifically developed for it. And with our tire price match guarantee, you get the best fit for the best deal. Let us do the work. Available on select eligible tire brands at participating dealers only. Offer ends 12/31/2025. Terms apply. See dealer for complete details. Visit Cadillac.com/service to learn more.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
At the UPS Store, we want to make this summer the summer of shipping. Summer Shipalooza. So you can start crossing items off your must-ship list. Like the vintage film camera your college kid needs for class. Or the vase you told your mom you would send her ages ago. And with our pack and ship guarantee, your items arrive safe or we reimburse you. So stop by your local store today for everything you need to be unstoppable. Visit the upsstore.com/guarantee for full details. Available at participating locations. Most locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable.
I've got a lot of notes in front of me because I make little messages to myself all the time. And I looked at this one and I said, what's important is to have a good attitude. Think about positive living and try to practice that attitude. Have a good outlook on what's going on in your life. There's a terrific quote that I want to pull out here for you. It says, keep your face to the sunshine and you cannot see a shadow, right? So you have to always be looking out there, and it's a chain reaction. If you believe in something, if you think of it, it has traction as you continue to develop it. It's only a matter of time before something really happens. You have to be patient. I want to play a little bit more of that Cat Stevens song because it was at the very beginning of this program, and it's called "Oh Very Young, What Will You Leave Us This Time?" Let's listen to it just a little bit. What a pretty melody, isn't it? Yeah. Listen to the lyrics a little bit too. Here's Cat Stevens.
Oh, very young, what will you leave us this time? You're only dancing on this earth for a short while.
Mm-hmm.
And though your dreams may toss and turn you now, they will vanish away like your daddy's best jeans, denim blue, fading up to the sky. And though you want them to last forever, you know we never will. You know we never will. And the patches make the goodbye hardest.
Oh, I love that song. I love doing the program. I hope you got something out of it today. I really mean that. That's why I'm doing it. I mean, I'm loving what I've been doing all my life, and I've been doing the news in New York, as you know, for like 40 years. And now I'm concentrating on positive stories, and that's what I like to share with you. So I want to thank you very much for joining me and being part of my show in many ways. Let me know how you feel about it. I'm going to have another nice show coming up next time around, and I'm saving a real special one for you, okay? I'm Ernie Anastas, and I want to stay positive. I want you to live with enthusiasm and optimism in your life. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Remember, you were born to be alive.